Let's talk about process versus procedure, being heard and protecting your rights in the court. Welcome back to Silence Screams Loud Strength, Unmasking Justice. Today we talk about something that sounds technical but affects every person who finds themselves navigating a court process, a complaint, a process, or a regulator, a housing dispute, or a workplace investigation, or any system where decisions are made about your life. The difference between process and procedure. Many people assume they are the same thing. Well, they are not. They are not because procedure is the framework. Process is the purpose. Procedure is the form. Process is the journey. Procedure is the mechanism. Process is what delivers justice. And many, when we forget the difference or when we don't know the difference, people can lose their voice inside the system that was designed to hear them. Courts, regulators, public bodies, and institutes need procedures. Without procedures, there would be confusion. There would be inconsistency. There would be uncertainty. Procedure creates structure. They establish timelines. They explain how information should be presented. They help ensure that everyone understands the rules. That is important. But procedures were never intended to become more important than justice itself. The danger arises when procedure becomes the destination instead of the vehicle to which you arrive to justice. When checking a box becomes more important than understanding what happened, that is not justice. When meeting a deadline becomes more important than ensuring meaningful participation, that is not justice. When a form becomes more important than the person completing it, that is where many people begin to feel invincible, particularly those who are already vulnerable, those recovering from trauma, those experiencing domestic abuse, those struggling with health conditions, those who are representing themselves in a complicated system, those who simply do not have the resources available to others. The system may be functioning procedurally, yet still failing someone in practice. And that distinction matters. A process can appear compliant while failing to be fair. The process can appear efficient while failing to be just. A process can appear complete while leaving important questions unanswered. That is why participation matters. Participation is your Article 6 right. Being heard is not simply being present in the room. It is about understanding. It is about engagement. It is about having genuine opportunity to put forward your case. It is about knowing what is happening and why it is happening. It is about being able to respond to information that affects you. It is about being heard. Most importantly, it is about ensuring that decisions are made on a proper understanding of the circumstances within the case. This is why clarity is so important. If you do not understand a direction, ask. If you do not understand a requirement, ask. If you do not understand a decision, ask. Seeking clarification is not a weakness. It is your right. It is participation. The more clear you understand, or the more clearly you understand the process, the more effectively you can engage within it. The second thing is that what matters the most is record keeping. Keep copies of correspondence, save your emails, maintain a timeline, store your documents carefully, make notes following important conversations. Good record keeping creates continuity. It gives you clarity, it reduces confusion. They help preserve accuracy and preserve your own case and voice. And when questions arise later, records often become one of your strongest sources of evidence. Thirdly, keep bringing the focus back to the substance. Ask yourself, what is the issue that needs to be decided? What evidence supports my position? What outcomes am I seeking the court to make? How do these documents help the decision maker understand the situation? It is easy to become overwhelmed by administration, but substance remains the foundation. Finally, remember that fairness is not an optional extra. Fairness is the reason the process exists. Every procedure ultimately serves a larger purpose: to ensure decisions are informed, to ensure people are heard, to ensure outcomes are reached properly, and to maintain confidence in the system itself. Because when people stop believing they can participate meaningfully, trust begins to erode. When trust erodes, systems struggle to achieve their purpose. Understanding the difference between process and procedure does not give you control over every outcome, but it does help you to protect something equally important: your participation, your voice, and your ability to engage fully in decisions that affect your life. Thank you for listening to this 4-part series, Stealing Justice: Cohesive Control Beyond the Home, the Silent Erosion, and Process versus Procedure. If these conversations matter to you, subscribe to Silent Screams Loud Strength, Unmasking Justice, and share them with someone that needs to hear. Thank you for being part of the community. because justice is not only about outcomes, it is also about participation, and participation begins with being heard.